Hello, I'm Halandzovskyi. Iran is facing one of the deadliest internal crises in decades, not just from protests, but from the way the government is handling the aftermath. Thousands are reported dead, and now disturbing new accounts are emerging about bodies piling up in morgues and families being denied access to their loved ones. This isn't just another headline, it is a human catastrophe. In the nationwide protests that erupted in Iran late last year, security forces responded with lethal force as demonstrations spread across the country. Estimates from human rights groups suggest that at least several thousand people have been killed, making this crackdown the deadliest in decades. Authorities and watchdogs now report morgues overwhelmed with bodies, far beyond normal capacity. In one city alone, medical facilities were reported to hold hundreds of corpses, straining refrigeration and storage systems. Families desperate to reclaim the remains of their loved ones have faced harrowing obstacles. Some say they were told they would not be handed over the bodies unless they signed statements falsely describing the deceased as members of official militias or paid extortionate sums. In some cases, relatives were pressured to make public declarations blaming the deaths on terrorists or anti-government elements. These accounts illustrate not only the scale of death, but the cruelty with which authorities are treating grieving families. The implications of these reports extend far beyond morgues. When a government responds to civilian protest with mass lethal force and then attempts to obscure or manipulate the aftermath, it sends a chilling message. Dissent will not only be crushed, it will be erased. Even in death, this pattern deeply affects public trust. Families denied proper rights, communities seeing bodies disappear or being coerced into false narratives, and journalists unable to report freely under restricted internet access, all of this compounds the tragedy. It also raises serious questions for international human rights bodies and governments around the world. How to document, how to respond, and how to hold perpetrators accountable when information is limited and repression is widespread. The crisis in Iran is not just a political conflict. It is a human rights disaster, with consequences for society, law, and international norms for many years to come. The world is watching, but many families are still waiting for answers, for justice, and for the chance to mourn with dignity. Iran's protest movement is being defined not only by its demands, but by how power has been wielded against its people. I'm Halandzovskyi. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want careful, thoughtful analysis of critical global events, and share your perspective in the comments.